main target today is the inshore species, some redfish, some snook, some big trout.
I was supposed to train today.
Oh, really?
I said, training or fishing. It wasn't a hard decision.
There you go.
There you go.
Time, bud.
There you go. Get him. Draft day. What's kind of going through your head?
Oh, man. I actually cried the night before. I called my mom like 1 o'clock in the morning. She said, why are you crying? What's wrong with you? I said, I don't think I'm good enough.
Come on, fish. There we go. There we go. There's fish all over the place right here. Big fish.
You know, I always used to say that I was kind of a product of my environment, but it's such a bull way to live. You know, once that bullet comes out of the gun, you can't take it back.
Take it back.
It's either gonna be you or me, and I know who it ain't gonna be.
There we go. There we go. Nice.
I'm Tom Colicchio, and I'm in the food business. From restaurants to reality TV. My true passion is fishing. No matter the size of the catch, I always love a good fight.
There you go.
And on my show, we've always got something or someone on the hook. This is Hooked Up.
We're in Chocoloskee, so we're in the Everglades. You know, I've never fished down here, and I've fished in a lot of places. I've never fished the Everglades, so I'm really looking forward to it.
We're headed to the Everglades this morning to do a little fishing, and I'm very excited. It's a beautiful day, and the goal is to get hooked up. My fishing superstition is the earlier you get out, the bigger fish you catch. So that's why we're up early, headed to the Everglades, and man, I'm looking for that big tarpon today, hoping I can hook one of those guys up and add it to my great menu of all the fish I've caught.
Plaxico Burress. Plaxico's a football player, so that's how I know him. So I'm hoping we catch some fish. I'm hoping to get from the Plaxico a little bit and put a little bend in the rod. That'd be fun. I know we're fishing with a great captain today, Captain Ron, so I'm really looking forward to this. So what do we got today?
Our main target today is the inshore species. We're gonna try to target some redfish, some snook, some big trout, possibly, if the wind lays down, some tarpon.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Plaxico Tom. How you doing? Pleasure, man.
Houston.
Pleasure.
Looking forward to it?
Oh man, I'm ready to do some fishing today.
Well, let's just get out there and go catch us some fish.
Let's do it.
Looks like
Come
a
on.
beautiful day, let's do it.
Let's go. What makes this so special, this, fishing down here?
Well, one of the things that makes it special is once you leave here, very rarely will you see a boat, but the thing about it is the vast uniqueness of it. It's just a beautiful place to be, and like I said, catching the fish is the bonus. We're gonna start working our way to the south, eventually lead up to an area called Lossman's River. The Lossman's area and all this area in here is where we're gonna be fishing.
The Everglades are not really a swamp, but it's a giant, slow-moving river loaded with wildlife.
The combination of drainage for agriculture and subsequent development resulted in really the drying out of the ecosystem. And areas further north, we can see the impacts of that today. The reason why we need to restore the Everglades is because it's a water supply for 7 million people. We also need to restore the Everglades because it's such a hot spot for biodiversity. And to think of the 10,000 islands from a fisherman's perspective, you really have to think about fish. And from a fish standpoint, it's really like New York City. It's a concentrated, complex, vertical habitat for fish. And not only small fish, because these are places of nursery habitat and sources of food for things like tarpon and sharks and snook, things that are more ecologically and recreationally valuable.
Catching fish or catching touchdowns. I love fishing, but there's nothing more that I love to do than catching touchdowns.
It's not much downtime anymore, right? What are you, 3 months downtime?
Man, it's like, these guys are training all year round. He's faster, bigger. You see some of these kids and you're like, you're how old? You're 20, you're 6'8", what, 340? Where did you come from?
You're right.
You see some of these guys, man, you're like, man, how does a guy this big move this fast, man? It's, the evolution of the athlete, since I came in back in 2000, has just been amazing.
If we start to see some schools of jumping mullet, I want to be casting them the jumping mullet. Watch. We're not in a hurry to get it back in, so we're going to want to work it where you're just reeling the line to keep it tight enough, but you're twitching the tip. See how that's going?
Yep.
Just like that.
$1 for the first fish, is that it?
Is it?
Yeah, gentleman's bet, you know.
That's usually how it starts out.
When are you in camp? When are you at report?
Well, I have mini camp Monday.
Mini camp Monday?
I was supposed to train today.
Oh, really?
I said, training or fishing? It wasn't a hard decision. Like, man.
Training.
I've been training since March. I can go fishing one day.
Now, obviously, something bangs it, don't pull it out of the way. Keep working it the way you would be working it, like if nothing hit it, and the fish will hook himself.
I'm on fish.
Someone's gonna get whacked, just keep throwing it in there.
See it.
It's gonna happen right out there. Just the excitement. Like, wow. There you go.
There you go.
Time, bud.
There you go. Get him. Get it.
Take your time.
All
Good
right.
job. Good job.
Looks like I owe you $1.
Good job. Hey, a small snook on top water.
Nice job.
Second cast.
There it is.
There you go, Plax. Nice job.
Early.
I owe you $1. There we go.
He's on a good fish.
Good fish.
You missed out on that $1.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a good fish.
Nothing like
That's more, no, nothing like
See
it.
the way he exploded
Yep,
it?
that's what I'm talking about.
Good job, gentlemen.
Art Monk or Jerry Rice? Art Monk. I grew up watching him. I grew up watching him in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And, you know, they was on TV every Sunday, and that was the closest thing I could see myself being.
How old were you when you started playing football?
Oh, I started when I was playing 7.
7?
Yeah.
Started when you were 7, really?
Yeah.
So you started playing when you were 7. When did you know you were good?
After my first game.
What did you do your first game when you were 7 years old?
My first pass, I was like a 5-yard down and out, and I caught it, and I ran up the sideline for like 70 yards, and my mother was running beside me the whole way. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, everybody was going crazy.
You were hooked after that.
Oh, man, the adrenaline of it at 7.
When did you start playing organized ball, like, you know, tackle? Was that high school or?
Yeah, played as a freshman, sophomore. I really didn't want to play football after my sophomore year. I like kind of told my coach I didn't want to play.
Oh, really?
And, you know, I kind of, you know, went home during practice, and he came to my house like later the next day, and he was like, hey, man, you know, you have all the talent to be a good wide receiver. I was like, but I don't want to play football, I want to play basketball. And he was like, well, how many players in the NBA are 6'6"? I was like, everybody. He was like, how many wide receivers can do what you can do that are 6'6"? And I was like, he was like, that's my point.
There you go. So you went back to football.
I went back to football.
Keep moving it, Plex. Don't ever stop it. There's something chasing some fish out here. See that mud? Let's make some casts out in here. Some fish up in here. Trust me what I'm telling you. You got hit.
Here we go. Come on, take it. Take it, a little. He's there, looking at it. Find your mama. Bring your mama back here, fish.
Oh, your daddy.
That's it.
When we're gonna get whacked, just keep throwing it in there. It's gonna happen right out there.
Here we go.
I'm just looking at it, looking mackerel.
Spanish mac. Yeah, nice little Spanish mac. It's cool. This is a good fish to eat raw. If we had salt and olive oil and stuff.
You start talking olive oil.
Olive oil, salt and pepper on that baby, and lime juice. What position did you start playing when you started?
I've always
You were always
been,
receiver?
Oh, yeah.
Always.
I wanted to be Art Monk, man.
You wanted to be Art Monk?
Yeah.
Redskin fan, huh?
I grew up in Virginia. I wasn't a real Redskins fan, but, you know, I had certain players that I like, Art Monk and, you know, Doug Williams.
See, I was a Redskin fan.
All those guys, yeah.
Yeah, I was a Redskin fan growing up.
Like, there are no more Darryl Green 21-year-old players, you know?
Yeah. You faster than Darryl Green?
Oh,
faster?
no. No, I remember this was my rookie year. We played him in the preseason. And I said, oh, man, I get to go against Darryl Green. I said, I'm going to show him something. So I went out there, I ran like a little post route, and he was playing like outside of me. And I went to break for the ball, and he was running on the inside of me. He was tapping to me. I got you, young buck. I was like, how did he do that? He like snuck around on the inside. I was running full speed. He was like, I got you, young buck. Don't worry about it. I was like, wow.
That's good stuff.
Hang on. Putting the anchors down. I want one guy throwing in, one guy start making some throws out here. Plex, put a little more pause in it, boss. Pop, pop, and then just stop it. We're trying to call these fish.
Come on, fish. There we go, there we go.
That's a nice one there. Diggity dog, man. Diggity dog.
There's fish all over the place right here, big fish.
You get nailed?
Yeah, it is. Getting them hooked up now.
What you told me is don't need laces for you to catch it.
All right, all right.
Woo! Got us another fish.
Steelers or Giants? Well, I can't pick one, so I have to say both because I won a world championship with the Giants, and now I'm a current member of the Steelers, so I would say Steelers Giants.
When did you start getting recruited?
When I was a sophomore.
Really?
Yeah, my first letter was from South Carolina. I'll never forget it.
Oh, yeah?
And my high school coach gave it to me. I said, "What's this?" He said, "This is a letter from South Carolina." And I was like, "I don't even want to play football." He was like, "Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you." So he knew more than I knew at that time.
Yeah, it usually works that way, huh?
Yeah, he's been a father figure to me, so. That was one thing that, you know, I was lucky to have. I always say that a lot of the mostly great players that are playing now, or the great players that played in college, they didn't have coaches, they had teachers.
Right.
And I really believe that's one of the reasons why I'm still around playing today, is that I was taught how to play the game.
At what point did you realize that you can play on the next level, professional level?
Probably after my first year of college.
Really?
Yeah. When I had like 60 catches, like 1,200 yards, and I was like, I think I got a chance, you know?
There we go. I made that fish eat. I made that fish eat. It just looked, that looked so good, he couldn't help himself.
Call a chit-chat bite.
He couldn't help himself but to eat.
Chit-chat bite.
He could not help himself. This is like a bluefin. That's a jack. Another species.
See how simple it is when you sit there and chat? Guess what? Fish bite. Why don't we just go see if we can find us a tarpon?
I'm feeling it.
I'm good with that because I don't want to keep showing up my guest here. This is getting.
Hey, I think I'm just gonna seal the deal on this one, man.
The tarpon is probably the most iconic of the sport fish that we have in the coastal Everglades. And really, it's a species that we don't know a whole lot about. We don't know where they spawn. We know that it's pretty far offshore, but we know that there are a lot of them around the coastline in the Everglades, including Florida Bay, the Florida Keys, and up the west coast through the 10,000 Islands.
Got one. Yeah, I got something on here.
Okay, catch her. Hang on, leave him down, leave him down. If he stings you, you're in big trouble.
Definitely don't want to get stung. Coughlin or Cower? Cower. I would say Cower because he drafted me coming out of college, and he saw some things in me that a lot of people didn't. So, and I have a great relationship with him. So, Cower.
Draft day. What's kind of going through your head?
Oh man. You know, it's kind of like a dream come true almost, so to speak, because you dream of doing something all your life, and it's like, it's right there. You don't believe it, but it's such a surreal feeling. I remember the night before, I think I maybe told 2 people this story. It was the night before the draft. I didn't want to stay at home. I stayed at my friend's house, and I actually cried the night before. And I called my mom like 1 o'clock in the morning. She said, "Why are you crying? What's wrong with you?" I said, "I don't think I'm good enough." I was almost scared, you know, but I got there, you know, you get in the locker room on that first day. And you see
Were you scared of playing, or were you scared of failing?
failing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I knew I was going pretty high in the draft, like top 10 pick.
Right.
And I just didn't want to fail because I only played 2 years of college football
Right.
out of high school. And you can't even do that anymore.
So you got drafted by Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Was that a team you wanted to play for? I mean, did you know going in, like, pretty much who had that pick and where you were going to go?
It never crossed my mind until the 7th pick, Thomas Jones went to Arizona, and I'm sitting there at 8th, and Bill Cowher called my phone. He was like, "How would you like to come play for the Steelers?" I said, "I'm ready." I was sitting in my room in my mother's, townhome at the time with my agent. And I knew I was getting ready to get picked with the 8th pick, but nobody in the rest of the house knew but me and my agent. And before they called when they said "Pluh," I was already out the door running down the street. And my whole family was running behind me. Ah! So, those are the days you never forget.
This is in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, Virginia Beach. Those are the days you never forget.
Yeah. What did that mean to you? I mean, sort of, your chance to play in the NFL?
I mean, just the, everything that I, came through, being raised by a single mother and being able to fulfill a dream that, nobody, really saw coming.
Right.
And, I trusted myself and worked hard at it. And like I said earlier, I knew that, I had a pretty good chance to play after my first year in college, and after that, I just kind of went for it.
How many seasons in Pittsburgh? 5 seasons?
5.
5 seasons.
Yeah, 4 in New York, 1 with the Jets, and now I went to Pittsburgh last year, late in the year, and now I'm back again.
When you were with Pittsburgh, did you want to get traded? Was it something you wanted out of there? Or?
It was kind of one of those things where I was, flourishing as a wide receiver, and Hines Ward was there, and it came to a point where I had to make a decision.
Right.
Pittsburgh offered me the same deal as New York did, and I just kind of did my research on, quarterback, running back, tight end, and believe it or not, Jeremy Shocker was one of the main reasons why I left to go play with the Giants, because he was a tight end on the backside. Me being that I played a weak side receiver, that he would draw some double teams on the backside, and I would get some single and be able to flourish and do my thing. And 3 years later, we won a championship.
There we go.
Ooh. Watch when he gets near the boat, he'll jump in the boat.
Yeah.
In case he's got to walk with that fish, he's gonna run down this side.
Fish didn't do much.
Well, it only took us a few casts. We got in here. Be ready. Got us some fish
That's
on.
what I'm talking about.
Got us some fish on. You hold that rod.
Yeah, I got the rod.
Hold that rod.
I got it.
Hold that rod. Tighten that drag up tiny. Okay, let him do what he wants to do. All right, walk him. There you go. Good man. Put a notch down on that drag.
I just did. Okay. Fish is down. Fish is down.
Ain't bad for a guy who's flipping a saucepan, huh?
You want some of this? I don't care to get him in if you just want to feel him. Strong fish.
Mine now. Every time you get closer, take a dive for it.
A little different than a trout.
Just a little bit. Turn around. Woo! It's either gonna be you or me, and I know who it ain't gonna be. We pulling him in. I gotta see this bad boy out of the water.
It's a faulty rod there, huh?
No, my ass. Go jack his ass up there with that big wide receiver right there, 7'10". I got his tail for right now.
Bad boy right there.
Hang on. All right.
That's good.
It's one or two more out here.
We're done. There you go, gentlemen. Finish.
Regret or redemption? Redemption is always better than regret, because it gives you that motivation, that commitment to go out and do things that nobody else sees you doing. And you have to have the faith and the will in yourself to go out and do it. So I say redemption.
I imagine as a kid growing up, how many times does this go through your head? You're a receiver, there's 35 seconds on the clock,
Man.
and they call your number.
You know, it was, you know, we had ran the same play like 3 plays in a row.
Sluggo, huh?
Yeah, and Eli had told me before I left the huddle, he was like, hey man, if they single cover you, you know, I'm throwing. And I was like, there's no way that they're gonna single cover me right now. And I got to the line of scrimmage and I looked at the coverage and my eyes were just like, one of those. And Eli was like, he was trying to hike the ball so fast, you see him like jumping, like hike it, hike it, hike it. And he hiked it and I was just like, I'm gonna take this thing home, man. And you know, like I said, when you're a kid, I don't think you can, you know, dream or draw it up any better. You throw the ball up in the air when you're 7, 8 years old and you celebrate the winning touchdown and win a Super Bowl. And, you know, I was actually fortunate enough to live it out. And, you know, it crosses my mind at least once a day.
So I got to ask you this one. Not why, but just kind of what makes you do that? What makes you think that you gotta, I mean, you're a big guy.
Right.
You know, you got people around you.
Right.
Did you grow up with guns? You know?
Yeah, it was kind of a part of, you know, the culture, you know, that I kind of grew up in. And, you know, I always say that, you know, I have been, you know, carrying a gun, you know, years prior to that, ever since I have, 10, 11 years going into that.
What culture? Is it a hunting culture or was it more of a you know, street thing?
It was more of the, you know, street thing, growing up in the, you know, urban community and, you know, seeing it go on and you just think that it's right. And that's the thing that, you know, I try to, you know, teach now is that, you know, I always used to say that I was kind of a product of my environment, so to speak, but it's such a, you know, a bull way to live. Right. You know, you're not. You know, you can step outside the box and, you know, and be different. And that's what I try to pass on to the youth. You know, once that bullet comes out of the gun, you can't take it back.
Take it back. No,
yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Was there any silver lining at all at the end of it?
It cost me nothing to get a lot of people out of my life. You know?
Okay. Well, it cost you 20 months.
Yeah, it cost me 20 months. But, you know, and a lot of people really showed me their true colors about the kind of people that they are. And I think, and I stepped back from it and I said, okay, you know, that's perfectly fine. And then when it was time for me to come home and do my thing again, you know, everybody kind of showed back up and I was like, Yeah. So, you know, and I wouldn't change the person that it made me because, you know, who knows what would have happened. Right. And first of all, I'm thankful that I'm still here. Right. And, you know, nobody else was harmed. Right. You know, and
your family stayed together through it?
Yeah, definitely. You want to talk about something snatching your heart out and stomping on it.
I can imagine.
You know, that's something that I can never, you know, relive or have back.
All right, we're gonna blow out of here and get some food.
Let's do it.
Cool, man.
So we get some gator.
Yeah, let's go.
We had a great day on the water. I got to know Plaxico a bit. We caught everything from snook in the morning, a bunch of trout in the afternoon, and then we ended the day with an 80-pound tarpon. So we just had a blast, a great day all the way around.
$35 or $25? I choose 35 in a heartbeat. I wouldn't want to be 25 again for nothing else in the world. I've learned some precious jewels in my life at 35 years, so 35.
Have you ever eaten alligator before?
I have. It's actually pretty good.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
I want to talk about your foundation and some of the work you're doing with kids, you know, keeping them in school.
I just had so many people kind of believe in me, kind of push me through, and they're giving me a chance to go to college. And it's also a scholarship program where we provide, you know, financial needs for the students who are eligible for it. And they have these offers to go to college, but they can't be filled financially. So we kind of fulfill the other half of the scholarship. And I met the mother of the girl that I gave the first scholarship for. It was, you know, she went to Hampton University, and now she's a senior at Harvard Law. That's what this thing is all about, and it gives you goosebumps. You know, education can really take you as far as you want to go, you know, literally and physically. And I want them to understand that, and education is basically the foundation of, you know, creating your own, you know, your life.
Listen, I had a great day fishing with you. Hopefully you have a great season, go out a champion. Pleasure, man.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Tom Colicchio. I'm with Jerry Stackhouse here, and we're fishing off the coast of Naples. Don't miss any of my adventures on Hooked Up.
It's a slam dunk.
I can cover you. No? I can't cover you?
I don't think so.
No? Nah.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant,
I'm Eric Ripper,
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman,
the host of On the Table,
the host of Across the Board,
Host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
host of the show Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend on the Reserve Channel.
It's only on Reserve.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the Reserve Channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.